The open meeting of Autistic Radio and Autistic Association is sponsored by Autistic Jewels, because this is a project worth investing in. We have been dealing with Scottish Autism, and it's lovely that we are cooperating with them. The follow-up from our meeting was that we were to provide some memes for social media use, and I did that immediately. I sent them out. They haven't been opened yet. A week later, they haven't been looked at, but I do have an email from Scottish Autism to say that they are going to discuss how to use what I've provided and make people aware of the Radio Days project that we have the 27th, 28th, 29th and 30th of December between Christmas and New Year. And that takes us to a change to the radio project this year. We've agreed between us that we're maintaining what we had when we started, which was a social group where people could talk in private about their autism with other autistic people regularly. So we're going to create a backstage area, which is a space that has text, no cameras, voices if people want to use them, no recording. And that's where people can first make their step into joining us here on Autistic Radio and joining part of the social group without any obligation to go any further. Obviously, some people will join that and see it as a stepping stone to joining in the other activities we have, but some people will just stay and enjoy having a regular meet with other autistic people. So the backstage area is something that we'll launch during Radio Days, and then we'll keep it up for our activities through 2026.
I think it's a very good idea. And it goes back to what we're all about. When we started, it was about tackling the isolation and getting people in who feel isolated in a particular time. That time between Christmas and New Year is that sort of lull that this is kind of familiar to the Sunday evening lull, except it's a longer period of time where things tend to stop just before things start kicking off again. It's very inclusive, and there's no pressure, and it kind of opens up to more people. So I'm very happy with that suggestion.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments. It would be nice for people who may not want to have to kind of formulate words or, run to a specific topic to be able to talk between themselves or not, or just listen. It's a nice safe space, and that's what we like to provide.
I think the other thing is it's company without pressure, because if people join the backstage space, we won't immediately say hi to them and put them on the spot. We'll wait for people to come to us. And as Robbie says in the text here, between Christmas and New Year, it's a time when many services have shut down and people without family don't have company. I'm not with family this year. I'm estranged from my family pretty much. And other people in the group I know are estranged from their family. So it's about us, it's from us, it's for us, but it's also opening it up to other people to join in with it as well, as a loneliness project, and as a project that hopefully catches people before they start to get into the thoughts that lead them to self-harm or suicide. I'm selling it as a suicide prevention project. I think that is what we have, and that is what has happened over the 5 years that we've had Radio Days. We've had some pretty interesting conversations with people, and we have asked people we've signposted people towards services that are more appropriate to them, like the Samaritans. And it's also possible for us to advocate for those people who come and need other services, but need to talk to us first to have the encouragement to approach the other services and get the confidence. That's the stepping stone that I think is a niche that we can and do provide.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what the Autistic Radio Facebook page also tries to do as well as signpost. It's like a starting point and not a pressured one. Not a doctor, not even a relative or a friend pressuring this, pressuring that. It's just a nice, gentle pathway, for want of a better term, for people that want to go that way.
I have an email that I sent over to Scottish Autism, text for memes for Autistic Radio Days 2025. Thanks for using the social media of Scottish Autism to publicise our Christmas Loneliness project. Radio Days has a track record of addressing autistic elders in isolation since the start of the COVID event in 2020. Every year we add members to our group and signpost individuals to specialist services dealing with suicidal thoughts. Often, autistic elders need encouragement to seek help. We provide the first listening ear that gives confidence to those who will otherwise struggle to recognise their own needs. Our publicity is not aimed at general listening but specific to one particular mindset that is shared in our experience by a number of Boomer and Generation X, and the text below is purposefully quite blunt. And so the text I asked them to put with the 6 memes that I sent were: we often get isolated at Christmas. Autistic radio folk rarely live with family. Since 2020, we have joined forces, gathering to talk and or text between Christmas and New Year. Online every day, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m, we welcome others to be lonely together with us. Join regulars, Lucy, Harry, Teresa, Robbie, Ray, Jules, Nicola, GR or Robbie to chat privately or comment on our selection of live broadcasting. Link here to listen or get involved. We speak, our words, we listen. Radio Days 2025. So that's the text that I've suggested. Does that hit the right tone for people?
Yes, absolutely. It's straight to the point, and that's what we're all about. Is like no faffing about as such. As we like to get the information out there, and which is simple and logical, for want of a better term. So I'm happy with it.
So the major point is that we will be running a room where people can drop in and speak to us however they're feeling between Christmas and New Year. And at the same time, we are going to be broadcasting our podcast and also some talk in between that with some possible guests joining us. And then we've got the 444 at 444, which follows almost the same format that we normally do, except that we know we're sending out live this time, whereas normally we would just record it ourselves. Lucy and Ray might add in a bit about Lucy's Substack on that, but we're not putting any pressure on them. There'll be conversation anyway. And then you've got the 555 every day as you normally do on Sunday, and that suits you, Harry?
Yeah, totally happy with that. I'm looking forward to it.
So let's just look forward to the 555 and look forward to Scottish Autism encouraging this and making it publicly known. I'll meet you guys next week.
We speak. Our words. We listen.
We speak. Our words. We listen.
We speak. Our words. We listen.
We speak. Our words. We listen.